电池不太好。
对，
为什么呢？就是
续航比较长，续航比较长。
OK， 明白了。Hey guys, quick video with some learnings from on the ground here in China. It will be good news for Tesla and I think some potential for NIO there, and not so good for XPeng this time, unfortunately. Well, yesterday I took an Uber back home and it was a XPeng P7, and as always, you know, your best friends in China are the local taxi drivers because they know the city, they know the economy, they know what's going on. And this particular fella also knew a lot about cars, and I'm always asking them what's their experiences with the cars. And I also asked him about XPeng, and he was straight to the point. He was very unsatisfied with the car. Although I thought when I sat in it and so on, there was nothing wrong with the car. Seemed to be update, modern, stylish look, good interior and stuff, but he did not hold back from immediately saying that he was very dissatisfied with the quality of the car. Two things he mentioned. Number one, it was that he thinks the battery is lacking. It's not good, the range is not enough, and it's also deteriorating, and generally worries around the quality of the battery. So that was number one. But he also mentioned then that this is not a XPeng specific issue, but an issue with NEVs in general. By the way, he bought it in 2023 by the end of the year, when he said that XPeng cars were just more stylish looking and more affordable than Tesla cars back then, which today they are not anymore, right? Now, the second thing he mentioned was a real big quality and safety issue, which is that he mentioned he's been in an accident before in which the airbags didn't go off. So he said it wasn't not a minor accident, it was actually a side, was hit from the side. So he thought it's certainly an issue with the car, and he cannot explain why the airbags did not go off. So in short, he's not very happy with the car, wouldn't buy it again. And then, and before I come to the learnings also for the potential for NIO and Tesla, I asked him, okay, if you could choose freely, what would you buy? Well, first off, he may be reflecting the general, kind of sentiment here that his next car may not be even an EV. He was driving a BMW before and upgrading or updating to this XPeng, right? But he mentioned that his BMW has been much more steady, sturdy, better quality, especially when going high speeds and stuff. And he basically said, he would go back to an ICE car, like internal combustion engine car. So that's really bad news for all of the EV manufacturers, right? It's not even only bad for XPeng, but it may reflect some of the experiences out there with people that are having issues with safety and batteries. Now, I asked him if he could choose any EV brand, which one would he choose? And he said Tesla, because I think his quote was, you can't go wrong with Tesla. That's something that I said before in videos, that Tesla's kind of, this mass market phenomenon where everybody has trust in the brand, but also the tech level, and on top of that, if everybody's choosing it, you can't go wrong. So this shows also the importance of being a mass adoption. So the good news here for Tesla is that they still have this outstanding reputation, and the fact that they were able to lower the prices in China, well, meant less profits for sure, but on the other hand, also at least retaining the market share here, right? Despite the fact that there's crazy competition, and some of the cars, like for example the XPeng, at first look seemed to be the better option, which he thought as well in 2023. Now, for NIO, what could be the learnings here? We also talked a bit specifically about battery swapping, and he was aware of it, however had a couple of misconceptions. So I think the first point is why he was so reluctant on EV shows that there is still an issue with batteries and range anxiety, right? And the issues around that. He told me that he was recently driving a test driving a NIO car, because he might be considering it though, despite the fact that he said, well, he's gonna without hesitation rather go to an ICE car. But he told me he recently test drove a NIO car, and that he was, you know, being approached by the sales stuff more frequently now. So also give us a little bit of an insight that NIO is maybe becoming more aggressively here with the sales. But I think the conclusion here is that battery swapping is still not a phenomenon where people really know that this is a solution to quality, battery degradation, and also range anxiety issues, right? It's actually a pretty good solution for people who are rather driving ICE cars like this guy. So I think that it shows that there needs to be more done in terms of communications, but it actually is a really good potential solution if more people would have this experience and would be able to compare between normal EV brands and brands that have battery swapping. Fun fact, he thought BYD is also doing battery swapping. So I don't know how that is coming up, this rumor or idea, but certainly shows that he also has a bit of a lack somewhere in the understanding. But anyways, that's the reason one, how NIO could actually be improving with this battery swapping advantage that they're clearly having. Plus the second one also deriving around battery swapping is that he said this incentive of having free swaps is actually very, very important to him. And we've seen recently that NIO is using that more to their advantages. But I want to see that leveraged more in a systematic way, that they use those alternative revenues derived from battery swap stations with their partners, with grid balancing and so on, with advertisement or other sources of revenues built around this battery swapping ecosystem. For example, also, you know, making more use of a depreciating asset and those monthly subscription fees and so on. Anyways, turning all of that into a mode where only the infrastructure provider like NIO is able to offer something on top of the car, because he literally said, I think NIO is something else than a car manufacturer. He said, this NIO Power thing is something else, right? But it's not getting clear yet to most people, I guess. So again, those things pretty much reflecting the sentiment here, I think. It's a good discussion with this driver, and I thought these were some good ideas for NIO to take forward.